radio.uccs.edu.
I'm Nikki Kinzer from the women's volleyball team, and you're tuned into the Lion's Den, the official source for UCCS sports.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You are tuned into the Lion's Den, the official source for UCCS sports. That was UCCS golfer Grant Dean taking time out of his busy schedule to come talk politics with us. And
we tortured him.
Oh, yeah, Martin was a bit rough to him.
Yeah.
But some pretty bold predictions there by Grant Dean, and we're going to find out tonight how accurate Grant Dean is in his predictions.
He was a good sport.
Oh, absolutely. I think Grant had some fun, and we really liked having him on the show, and he did really well with that game that Martin set him up to fail. He just laughs. Martin just laughs. That was a tough game, Martin.
Yeah, well, I mean...
You didn't read the questions before you asked them.
Yeah, that's true. I need to make sure the questions are somewhat answerable.
Yeah, that one he got though of the 1800s. That was pretty impressive.
That was close.
He was only a couple years off from 120-year rivalry. Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
We had to give him credit for that.
Oh yeah. So. Well, and he knew the upcoming schedule by heart. He knew up until the championship game. He even knew the date on the championship game. Yeah. He knew every single game that Oregon is yet to play. So that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, he could prove to be Nostradamus. Let's
see what happens tonight.
Yeah.
A prophet?
Yeah, he could be a prophet.
Of epic proportions?
That's right.
Yeah, that's impressive. But Grant Dean talking UCCS golf, and we really appreciate him coming in once again. But we got a lot more to cover here on the Lion's Den here in just a short amount of time because a lot has happened in the past week. The UCCS men's soccer team has had 2 extra games since last week when we spoke. They hosted the first ever home playoff game last Wednesday on Halloween as they defeated Colorado Mesa 1-0 by a goal by James Roberts. James Roberts with a great goal in that matchup. And as a result, the Mountain Lions advanced to the semifinal game to take on the number 1 ranked team in the nation, Regis. And you know what happened in that game, Martin?
Well, I know it was close for a little while.
Well, we were ahead. Mm-hmm. The first minute in, less than 2 minutes into the game, Liam Levy-Phillips scores a goal to put the Mountain Lions up 1-0 in the semifinal matchup. Unfortunately for the Mountain Lions, Regis answered with a goal of their own in the 3rd minute, so just 2 minutes later they tied it up. Regis would go on to add another goal in that half and one more in the second half to close out that match 3-1. That was a pretty tough matchup for the Mountain Lions, the number 1 ranked team in all the nation, but UCCS did put up a fight. You know what they did win in that matchup, though, Martin, was the contest of yellow cards.
We are very good at that contest.
And red cards, yeah. We're really good at that.
We dominate in that category.
We did. We won 3-0. So they beat us 3-1 in points, but we beat them 3-0 in cards. I think we got the better end of that.
Yeah, I can safely say that we beat them up.
Yeah, they beat us in the game, but we beat them up in the game, too.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
That's good, yeah. But in that one, Mash Chassoir and Brett Dreffs each got a red card. Ouch. And Kyle Tetral's got a yellow. But on the plus side of things, Brandon Costa had a season-high 12 saves. So he definitely did everything he could to keep the Mountain Lions in that one, but just wasn't able to get 3 more saves, which would have been a shutout. So the Rangers go on to win that one. But a great job by everybody on the men's soccer team. Head coach Johnny Keane has done a wonderful job of picking up last year's team and taking it to the next level this season. They make it to the semifinal match of the 2012 RMAC tournament, which is a great success. It absolutely is.
Yeah, in his first year as coach. I mean, that's a great accomplishment.
Absolutely. So we're really excited for all the rest of the years to come for head coach Johnny Keane. Congratulations to them. And congratulations to the women's soccer team as well. They did fall in their first home playoff matchup on Wednesday on Halloween. They lost to Fort Lewis 0-2, and that was a bit of a heartbreaker. But you know what? They were still in the dance, and they made it to the playoffs and hosted their first ever home playoff games. So that is a success story in and of itself as well. Congratulations to the women's soccer team. Did a phenomenal job. Martin, it's been fun watching them play all season.
Yeah, and I think Coach Ridenauer did a great job in her 5th season. I mean, 13-4-2 is
that's impressive.
yeah, you got to be proud of that, and also 9-2-1 at home. That's great. And I think what really got them going this season was the 6-0 start at home. Like that
was huge.
That was a great accomplishment. It got them rolling.
Yeah.
So yeah, they did well.
Yeah, like you said, Martin, they only lost 2 games at home all season. Unfortunately for them, one of those losses was in the first round of the playoffs. But Martin, we had a bet last week. If you recall, we had a bet on who was going to score more goals. Was it going to be a Hannah or was it going to be an Agnes Arnedottir? You voted for the Hannahs. I voted for Agnes Arnedottir. Nobody scored, but I say we tie in that bet, Martin, because each of our 2 contestants had 2 shots on goal.
Yeah.
Agnes had 2 shots on goal, and each of the Hannahs had a shot on goal. So 2 shots on goal for Hannahs, 2 shots on goal for Agnes. I say we split.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah, sounds like we split. We'll save that dollar for another day.
Yes.
Yeah, but great job by the women's soccer team. Head coach Nicole Ridenauer has done a magnificent job in her tenure here at UCCS. She started the program. She's the only head coach the program has ever seen, and every year they seem to get a little bit better. And now you see what is to be the best soccer team on the women's program in history in all 5 seasons. So we're really looking forward to next season, and Mountain Lions have got to be on everybody's radar now.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what was a huge boost for them was the defensive play of the team and also the goalkeeping.
Goalkeeping was second to none. Martin Kelly Schroeder did a phenomenal job this season, and she is the RMAC goalie of the year. She's been.
That's an impressive feat. I mean, that really is a testament to how well they played. All right, so
So what do you think that kind of an accolade should award Kelly Schroeder? When we're looking at the accolades that we can hand out on the Lions Den, per se,
yeah.
What do you think she would be deserving of for that kind of a... Yeah, I mean, because it's great to be the goalie of the year.
Yeah.
But I think what's even more impressive is that Kelly Schroeder is our Shining Lion of the week. I think you got to give it up to Kelly Schroeder. She's led the team all season, and she's done a phenomenal job of manning that goalkeeping, or womaning that goalkeeping, if you will, and really owned that position this season. It was a toss-up before the season started between her and JT on who was going to be the goalkeeper, and Schroeder stepped up and she took over, and as a result, she is the defensive. She's put a stamp on the defensive end, being the goalie of the year for the RMAC. So that is,
she definitely kept them in games for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Her goal. The goals that she allowed were very little all season long. She ranked amongst the best goalkeepers all season, and that is why she is the goalkeeper of the year. Kelly Schroeder is a native here of Colorado Springs, so a local high school student at Coronado. And she's just a junior, Martin, so she still has a whole nother year here. Hopefully here. We don't know what the recruiting is done and what all the options are, but she is just a junior, so one more year of eligibility left. And how great would that be for the UCCS team to bring back the goalie of the year, Martin, next season? So that's something we're looking forward to.
Yep. I think Coach Ridenauer would probably agree by saying that you want to start from right there. You want to start with a good goalkeeper, start with good defense, and then build from there. You want to make sure that you can keep people out of the goal, and then it allows the forwards and the midfielders to be aggressive in scoring goals.
Yeah, so hopefully she comes back, plays her senior year here, and we're looking forward to another season next year after the great success that both soccer teams had this year. So congratulations to both soccer teams who hosted the very first home playoff games in program history. So congratulations, Johnny Keene, Nicole Ridenauer, and all the wonderful players on both sides of the teams. And the cross-country teams, Martin, were also in action this past weekend, and UCCS had a very good showing on both ends of the spectrum. The women did very well, as did the men, and so both sides, both teams are going to have a few players, a few runners in the national championship, which isn't this weekend, but it's going to be next weekend, the following weekend. So we're going to go ahead and highlight all of that on next week's show because there's a lot of cross country to get to. We had a competition this past weekend in Denver, and both teams did really well, but we'll preview the national championship, which is coming up, not this upcoming weekend, but the weekend after. So we will get to all that next week, but this week what we have to get to is the volleyball, because, Martin, it's the last home stand of the season. It's the last regular season games of the season, and the Mountain Lions are set to host this weekend as they will take on what should be a very couple of tough matchups, Martin. They're gonna of course be looking for a playoff. And for playoff seeding, they're currently 4th in the RMAC right now. They have a record of 18-8 after they won the 3 games this week. They played Colorado College and beat Colorado College crosstown rivals, beat them 3-2 on last Tuesday, 1 week ago, and then on Friday they went up to Nebraska and beat Shattern State 3-1, followed the next night against Black Hill State, and they won that one 3-1 too. And as a result of the stellar play on the weekend, Martin, Nikki Kinzer was the RMAC Defensive Player of the Week. Again, Martin, I know. I mean, it's quite an accomplishment. This is the 4th time this season and the 3rd time out of 4 weeks that she's been the RMAC Defensive Player of the Week. And phenomenal job to Nikki Kinzer. And she looks to lead the Mountain Lions this weekend as UCCS is going to take on the 12th ranked team in the nation in Colorado Mines. The Mountain Lions beat the Ore Diggers 3-0 in Golden earlier this season, so UCCS knows that they can beat Colorado Mines, but that's going to be a tough matchup because Mines has really gotten things together. They're ranked 12th in the nation right now, and the Mountain Lions are looking for that home playoff spot as on Saturday they take on Colorado Christian. The Mountain Lions beat Christian earlier this season also. They beat them 3-1 earlier this year. And all 3 of these teams right now are in the top 6 of the RMAC, separated by just a few games. Yep. It's the top 4 teams that host a first-round playoff matchup.
This is where we find out their mettle, like what they're made of. I mean, this is crunch time for them.
You're absolutely right, Martin. It's a young team, a couple seniors on the team, but mostly freshmen. So it's going to be an experience for them. And we're absolutely right, Martin. We're going to see what is this Mountain Lion team made of, because these games are very important. And when looking at that seeding, if UCCS can win both of these matchups, then they will host next Tuesday here at home. It'll depend on how the seedings work out for the other games. It will depend on who that they're going to host specifically. And if they lose both these games, then they're not going to host. If they split, then they're depending on what other teams do. Yep. So really, they do hold their own destiny in their hands. If they win them both, then they host next week.
And if they do, let's get everybody out there. In fact, it's important to get people to come out and support the team because they're a good team this year.
Oh, absolutely, Martin. They've played spectacular right now. As I mentioned, 4th in the RMAC standings. They've done a great job to put themselves in prime position. If you asked them at the beginning of the season and told them this is their situation, how do you feel about it? I think they'd be pretty happy knowing that they have their destiny in their hands. If they go out there this weekend and beat 2 teams, which they've already beaten this season on the road, now they're playing them at home. where they've only lost 2 games all season, I think that's where the Mountain Lions would say, yes, I would love to be in that situation. Bring it on. So this weekend, 2 tough matchups, but 2 very winnable matchups at the same time. So hopefully the Mountain Lions can pull out a couple of big wins. And next Tuesday, Martin, we'd have a home playoff matchup here for the volleyball team. That'd be very exciting. So good luck to them. I'll be there this weekend commentating on the games, and I'm really excited for those matchups. Martin, should be a great weekend of UCCS volleyball. But before the show concludes, Martin, how do we end the show?
What to watch for.
Every time you got to do what to watch for. And I know we're throwing this one out of nowhere, but right now the UCCS men's basketball team will have an exhibition in against Northern Colorado tonight in Greeley. So it's preseason, it's exhibition, so it doesn't officially count in the standings, but a good opportunity for the men's basketball team to get a feel for how their team is looking, and some adjustments that may need to be made before the season opener on November 30th. So a big matchup there for the men's basketball team preseason, but hopefully they do well in Greeley. And then on Friday, as I mentioned a few moments ago, it's going to be UCCS volleyball against Colorado Mines at 7 p.m. at the Gallagher Event Center. That will be followed by Saturday's matchup against Colorado Christian, which will be the last game of the regular season for the Mountain Lions. That matchup starts at 5 p.m., and we hope to see you all out there this weekend for what should be a great weekend of UCCS volleyball. And until next week's episode, this is Martin the Hustler Hines and MJ Arjmandi, as always, saying, Go Mountain Lions!